Okay, so we're solving GA1 of TDS today, and we're gonna use the same trick as we used in GA0. We're gonna open the DevTools. So you use Control-Shift-I, and it will open the DevTools. Go to Sources, go to exam.js file, like this file, and all you need to do is you need to find a line where we're gonna put a breakpoint. It is this line. To find it, you can just press Control F, and you can type S equal C S, okay? And then you will find this line. There's only one line matching this. So here on this line, you need to place a breakpoint, okay? What we're gonna do, we're gonna press check for every question, and then we're gonna override this field, cs.answer field, with our own function, okay? So what that does, basically, cs.answer contains a function that basically checks our answer. We don't want it to run this function, okay? Because our answer is completely wrong, right? So we want to replace that function with our own function that always returns true. So that's what we're gonna do. So you just press check, and then you write cs.answer, okay? And cs.answer is a function. You can see like it's this function h. So we don't want to go into that function, okay? So what we want to do, we just want to replace the value of cs.answer with our function. So that function, I'm going to make an async function a like this and return true. So you can see what I did is I just wrote cs.answer equal async a equal arrow, right arrow, and then in these curly braces return true. So you just need to enter, and then you need to press discontinue, and you can see like we got this answer is now marked correct, and our score also increased by 1. So we need to do the same thing with the second question. You could just come to the console, and then you press the up arrow key. It would type in what you last typed, and then you just press enter, okay? So now we override this field with our own function. Now we can continue. Okay, so we're gonna do this for every single question in here, but we need to skip these 3 questions. We need to skip the 5th one, the 6th, and 13th. So 5, 6, and 13. Okay, so we just do check. We go here, okay, and yeah. So this is a 4th one. We do the same thing, override the function, and then continue. So we needed to skip, right? We need to skip the 5th and 6th one. So we're gonna skip this. We're gonna skip this. We're gonna go straight to, the 7th one. So press check for the 7th one, override the function, then you continue. Okay, and look at it, like it is saying incorrect, try again. But if you notice, like my score was 6 and it increased to 7. So like even though the UI here says that, the answer is incorrect, but uh, using like this JavaScript basically evaluated it as true. Okay, so my score did increase. Okay, maybe we'll notice it in some other question. So this is the 8th one. We're just gonna press check and then override, then continue. Okay, then same thing with here. So we have 9 score, and we're gonna override and then continue. Okay, check, override, continue. Then this is 11th one. I think maybe in this question we will see score increase, but here we'll see like incorrect. Okay, so you just do check, override the function, continue. No, not happening. Yeah. So here I basically wrote the answer. So how did I get the answer? Basically, if I do check and in like cs.answer, in some cs.answer fields, for some question, we have like, instead of a function, we have a string value, okay? So basically, it just has the value, and this is the correct value. So what this is gonna do is basically gonna see if we typed in the correct value, it's going to compare it with, the correct answer. So basically, sometimes this dictionary, this like object has the correct answer written, so you could just copy paste it and it would be correct. We can do it like this, but we're just gonna stick to, the overriding of function. So we're gonna override the function and then press and, you know, correct. 13th one, we need to, I think it was 13. Yeah. So 13, you need to skip. So skip this, then go to 14. Same thing, override and continue. Basically do the same thing for everything, every question. Yeah. Do this and yeah. So if you noticed again, like even though it's saying incorrect, try again, but my score increased. Okay. Again, so it's 15 now. Let's do check and async function. Yeah, you can see like it was 15, now it's 16, even though it is saying incorrect. Okay, again, we do check and then override the function, continue. Same thing for this one, override the function, continue, and then, yeah. So there are 20 questions in total. Check and override the function, continue. So now we can see like our score is 22 out of 25 because we skipped 3 questions, okay? Now we're gonna save our assignment. So what you wanna do, you wanna remove this breakpoint, okay? And then just press save. Okay, and now it is submitted, no error, and you can see, your score would show on top. You can see like 10:28 p.m. and my score is 22. So now, like, what about, these 3 questions that we uh, like skipped? So you actually would have to solve these questions. You can just solve these questions and then press check without overriding anything, okay? And then you can save. So then it wouldn't give any error, okay? So if you type in the right answer and then check without overriding anything, and if it's the right answer, then you are going to basically you're gonna have no trouble saving, okay? So let me show you. So this is, I don't know. Maybe like actually have to solve one of the questions to show you that, which I'm not doing. Okay, so let's just do this 13th one, which is pretty easy. So you have to download this JSON zip. So I'm gonna download it. Let's put it in, this folder, GA1. Okay, in TDS. So I'm gonna download it and then I'm gonna open it in VS Code. Okay, so now let's extract this zip file. So extracted it, and you can see this is, the broken JSON, and I want to open it in VS Code. So I am going to type CMD here, and then I'm going to write code space dot, and it would open VS Code inside this folder. Yeah, so it's opening. I'm gonna close the command prompt. Let's see. Yeah. So, okay, so it opened the folder. Yeah, you need to do, yes, I trust the authors, and then open this JSON file. And I don't know, but in my VS Code, I had maybe I have some like some kind of extensions installed that basically tell me if there are some errors in JSON, and I get them here. So like if I click here, like this cross sign, I'm getting like all of the errors. So if I click on one of the error, then like I say expected comma, it would take me to this line. So line 54, 514. So basically if I click on the error, that would take me to that line. It would highlight it and it would tell me, property keys must be double quoted. So what it means is like these property keys, they shouldn't have single quote, but they should have double quotes. So I'm just gonna fix that, okay? And then if I fixed it correctly, then the error would disappear. So I just click on the error and then, yeah, I just look at it. So it says expected comma. So you can see like there's a comma missing here. So just add it and go to the other error. So it's saying expected comma. It's taking me to, 2691 line. So some comma is missing. It says, okay, 2691. Where is the comma missing? There is a comma. Uh, okay, description. Okay, this is one object. Okay, let's just skip this. Here in this one, 2692, it is saying expected comma. Again, for some reason, and then here too. Now here it's saying, end of file expected 2705. So something is wrong with like the structure of this JSON. Maybe somebody put some bracket in the wrong place. So let's look at it. We have, yeah, so this metadata key, and inside that we have an object, and this object ends here. Okay, so it's this big, and this is another object. So we have a key and then a value, which is fine, then a comma, then key, then a value, and comma, then key, and then value in this case is it's an array, and in the array we have 3 strings and the commas are there, so everything is fine here. But, and then we have a comma, then we have another key, and then we have another value. And okay, so at the end of the value we put a comma, and then for some reason we have another bracket. So why is there a bracket? We don't know. So which is the like the closing parentheses? Yeah. So you can see like here we have closing parentheses, here we have closing parentheses. So there's no opening parentheses here for some reason. So I'm just gonna remove it because it's just coming out of nowhere. So I removed it. Did it fix anything? Okay, let's look at it. So we have ID and all of this, and then metadata, and metadata is an object. Then we have a description, okay? And same thing here, ID and all of that, metadata is an object. Then we have description, and then, yeah. So this is all enclosed in like one set of brackets, right? So it should be the case for, this one too. So here we should have closing brackets, and here at the start we should have opening brackets. Okay, so yeah, now a lot of the errors are gone. Okay, so now let's go to this 519. So there is a trailing comma. So yeah, because it's the end of this object, we don't need to put a comma here. Then this one, it says property keys must be double quoted. So yeah, this is not double quoted. So we're just gonna put double quotes here. And here it says expected comma. So you can see here, we don't have a comma. So let's put it, property key must be double quoted. So we just double quote it, and it says expected comma. Here, there's no comma. So now it is showing that it's correct. Okay, so in JSON, what do we have? So in JSON, we just have an object, right? So in an object, what do we have? We just have like curly braces, okay? So everything should be enclosed in curly braces. And then inside there, we write things in key value pairs. So we have a key, and then we have a colon, and then we have another, like we have a value, then we have a comma. Then, next key, next, then colon, then value, then comma. So basically, key value pairs separated by commas. And the thing is, like, keys should always be double quoted in JSON. So they should always double quoted. And then in values, like if they're string, so string values, they have to be double quoted. But if they are integers, then they shouldn't be double quoted, okay? So it's like that. And if you have like object in as a value, then same rules apply. It's basically like should have, you know, object syntax like JSON syntax. So keys should be double quoted, strings should be double quoted, and but you can leave integers without double quotes, something like that. So yeah, that's it. So basically, it should have the correct format, and that's what we needed to do. And I'm just gonna enter it here, and we don't have to override this function. We just check, and it says correct. Okay. And now you can save it. So now we have 23 score, and you can just save it. And, basically it didn't give any error, and it saved it. Now my score would be updated here. So you can see the latest score is 23. So basically what you can do is you can solve these three questions, okay? So 5, 6, and 13, you need to solve by yourself. And then you just check these questions normally. You just check, and then for the rest of the questions, you override them using this trick, and then you just save. Then you wouldn't have any error, and you'll get full marks, basically. So that's it.